Tomorrow marks 1 year since the overturn of Roe v. Wade, giving states the power to enforce their own abortion laws. Kentucky's trigger law immediately banned abortions across the state.
Despite multiple attempts in court to reverse the ban, abortions are illegal. Tyler Melito is in studio now with response from both sides 1 year later.
1 year later, and the fight over abortion access here in Kentucky remains ever-changing. Just this week, the ACLU of Kentucky, along with partners from Planned Parenthood, filed a motion to dismiss a challenge to 2 laws effectively banning abortions here in the Commonwealth. In a statement released earlier this week, the organization said, quote, "We moved to dismiss this case because earlier this year, the Kentucky Supreme Court issued an extraordinary ruling that took away healthcare providers' ability to defend the rights of their patients, upending decades of precedent." Angela Cooper of the ACLU of Kentucky told me that it's fairly typical for providers to have third parties standing to sue, but the courts deemed they did not have standing to represent clients at all in this instance. Adia Wushner, executive director of Kentucky Right to Life, called the motion to dismiss a huge victory, furthering other courts' decisions to uphold Kentucky's pro-life laws. In a year where both sides spent much of their focus on fighting in the courtroom, one of the most notable decisions came from the people of Kentucky themselves. Kentuckians took to the polls last November, voting no to a constitutional amendment that would have added anti-abortion language to the state's constitution, a decision both sides are taking positives from.
It tells us that the people of Kentucky went to the polls and said, we don't want this language in our Constitution. We don't want to change the Constitution to include this language. And I believe one of the Supreme Court justices referred to that as the purest form of democracy, and the legislature chooses to ignore that.
We came very close. So it shows that there was not a groundswell against life in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I believe the people of Kentucky are, have their values and they value life. And I think that's still what we've learned through the Yes for Life Amendment.
The ACLU of Kentucky is recommending Kentuckians who need access to an abortion to go to another state where the procedure is legal, while Kentucky Right to Life says they will continue to fight for pro-life laws in Kentucky and push back against anything they feel will undermine the current laws. So that's where they stand now, but what does the future look like? We'll take a closer look at that in the next hour. But for now, though, for Fox 56 News, I'm Tyler Melito.